Hi, Andrew Bell here, and wishing you a happy start to the new financial year. The polls got it right, too close to call. It's certainly one of the most fascinating elections that I can ever recall. The longest, the most wishy-washy, and with no one presenting any real grand plan. Just more of the usual belittling of one another during the election campaign. Clearly the election has had enough of it. We are sick of all of the infighting from both the major political parties, the beholding to interest groups, and all the horse trading that's required by either side to get into government and to stay in government. It always seems to be that their own self-interests are put before the country. They've had enough. It is clearly part of a worldwide trend where voters are looking for alternatives. And out of fear, we're moving away from globalisation to protectionism. It's also amazing that Australia has been held up as an example in the US and in Britain of one of the best approaches to border protection and gun laws. Citizens of countries all over the world are confronting issues of terrorism, post-global financial crisis, global economics, and their fear about their own personal circumstances. And so it's not surprising to see the rejection of old political ideologies, and we're seeing that becoming clearer and clearer. As I mentioned some months ago, I've accepted that we will no longer ever live in a world of certainty as we did many years ago, due to the rapid changes happening right across the globe. But we have to be very careful that we don't end up in the chaos of conflict, indecision, divisiveness, but work together through greater unity and harmony as we deal with all the changes before us. I am still a firm believer that Australia is the lucky country. We may well have placed ourselves in a position of political indecisiveness, but clearly that's a result of the swinging voters turning to the third parties as a rejection of the two mainstream parties. I'm not sure that that is the answer, but I trust that both mainstream parties will start to learn lessons and modernise and rejuvenate their parties and attract thought leaders and people truly focused on uniting Australia and creating a proper global plan, well communicated, that we the masses believe in, understand and can support. Now enough of that for now. Whilst all of that has been happening, the reality is that the economics still function, and sometimes despite government policy and government intervention. Looking at a quick snapshot of the 5 fundamentals that drive the real estate market, we see gross domestic product is still in good territory, having picked up during the course of 2016. Interest rates are record lows and now forecast to drop at least once and perhaps twice through the remainder of this year by about 0.25% on each occasion. That has to be a stimulant not only for the economy, but for the property market. Population growth, although the rate of population growth has been trending lower since the peak of 2.2% growth in the year to December 2008, our population still increases by a fairly rapid pace. On current trends, Australia's population is likely to increase by about 378,000 over the next 12 months, taking our population to about 24.5 million people. And so that will be a stimulant to the economy and a stimulant to the property market. Unemployment has also been trending downwards, and housing affordability has held at reasonably good levels, largely off the back of those lower interest rates. Now, a combination of all those 5 factors, as mentioned above, comes through in consumer confidence. In the terms of the real estate market, it certainly remained fairly strong. Now, that was evident in recent weeks, where in just the week prior to the election, auction results from around the country were at high levels. And even last Saturday, on election day, we here on the Gold Coast had huge numbers turning up at open homes. And as a result, a lot of sales occurred. It does seem quite amazing now that so many people can actually differentiate between what is happening on the political scene as opposed to what is actually happening in the broad economic climate or real estate in particular. And they seem to know where is the best place to invest their valuable dollars. These are certainly amazing times that we live in, and certainly unlike anything we've lived through before. The next amazing election will be in the US, where people are also rejecting mainstream politics and looking for changes. and that'll have a big effect right around the world. Well, it will certainly be interesting times ahead on the political scene here in Australia as we get to the final conclusion of the makeup of our government moving forward. Until a fortnight's time, I trust you'll enjoy life to the fullest.